guys, what's up? It's the Merc here from Poolshade Games, and today we're going to be talking about Starfinder. Starfinder is the newest role-playing game from Paizo Publishing. It is a science fantasy game, so it's kind of in line of things of like Star Wars and that kind of ilk, where you have space opera elements. If you don't know who Paizo Publishing are, I'll answer that right now. They are a company that has created Pathfinder, the RPG. Pathfinder is the alternative to D&D. If you like fantasy RPGs and D&D just doesn't do it for you, for whatever reason, especially like the current edition or 4th edition, Pathfinder might be your thing. Pathfinder, I think the people from Paizo had some of the guys that were originally with Wizards of the Coast that did 3rd and 3.5 edition, and some of the community. And when they came out with 4th edition, we got Pathfinder. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. And basically, Pathfinder is if you had D&D 3.5 and you built upon it and fixed some of the bugs and the problems and put it out as a new edition, that's what Pathfinder is. And Starfinder is the science fantasy kind of brother to Pathfinder. Now, what is Starfinder? Starfinder is a science fantasy RPG in which the players, if you go with Paizo's published kind of background and setting, the players take on roles as members of the Starfinder Society and go on adventures and, try to save the universe. They provide you with some background in the book, and there's an adventure path right now going on. Now, the important thing you should know if you're thinking about picking up Starfinder, before I get into the book, what's in it, and some of that stuff, and my impression on it, is I believe when Paizo announced this, it was announced as a limited support product. Now, what I picked up from reading on their website is that because Pathfinder is their main project, Starfinder itself isn't going to get the same kind of time dedicated to it as Pathfinder. However, that being said, they've already released the main rulebook, the DM screen, or the GM screen, whatever you want to call it. I've already decided that in my games, I'm the Star Master. That might be corny, but to me, it's what's happening. I'm the Star Master. I'm not the Dungeon Master. I'm not the Game Master. Star Master. Anybody else out there running Starfinder want to use that? Go right ahead. So, like I said, they put out an adventure, DM screen, the main rulebook. There's a bunch of pawns because Paizo likes to put out box sets of card pawns that you can use to represent your characters and encounters on the tabletop. They have, this is an adventure path that they have out. Right now, book 1 is out. I think it's going to be a 4 or 5 book kind of adventure. It's what they do with Pathfinder. Every 2 months, because they're bi-monthly, they put out a little adventure that takes your characters, like initially from level 1 to like level 3, and then 3 to 5, 5 to maybe 7 or 8. It builds you up over time, and you experience an adventure that they've created for the universe. Also coming out is the Alien, I believe it's the Alien Archive, which is going to be kind of like the monster manual for this game, which is super cool because I love aliens and science fiction and anything like that you can put into a game for me. So that's stuff that's out there right now and coming out. I know they're going to put out a pawn set for the archive that they're putting in to the game. They have some playmats out, reverse-sided maps to use in your games, and that kind of stuff. So, well, yeah, it might be limited in support in that you might not get new stuff every other month or every, couple months or whatever. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now to lay the foundation, and hopefully it's a well received product so that they continue to make it and they continue to give us new stuff for Starfinder. Now, the thing of it is, just because it's limited support does not mean that you're going to have limited options. because one of the biggest things that they wanted to do with this is the system is very, very similar to Pathfinder, in that they sci-fied it up a bit, but there's still the core bones there. And so they put this in the book, which is your legacy conversion, and these are the rules to convert like general actions, skills. There's the ability to convert monsters from their bestiary books, character conversion. So if there's a character class that maybe you want to play and you can figure out a way to fit it into the setting, you can port it over with this legacy system. They even have the original races from Pathfinder in there. Like here you can see there's the half-orc and the halflings. So not only do you have this new game, but you have all the building blocks from Pathfinder that you can use to expand this game. Now I hope personally that they don't use that as a crutch. I hope that they don't decide that, well, they can double dip in Starfinder and in Pathfinder, so we don't need to focus on Pathfinder as much. But I like that, because as long as they keep putting out new things, or, you know, important things for Starfinder, you can use the books that are already out there for Pathfinder. So that's kind of my little preparatory, you know, there's some things to consider when getting into Starfinder. I don't know, you know, how you want to look at it. So now, let's just talk about the book, okay? This is your core rulebook, as it says right there. You know, and just, I hope you can kind of tell just from looking at the cover, and it's a hardcover book. You can tell it's a quality product. I mean, the only thing that would have made this purchase even better for me is if they would have included a little bookmark, you know, like the binding bookmark. But they didn't, and I'm okay with that. Now, before we jump in, let's just talk about the price. This book retail value is $59.99. So it's pretty standard, I would say, for RPG books and rule books for, say, like a miniature game or something like that. The one thing is, I will say, I own the Player's Handbook for 5th edition D&D, and it's not this chunky. This is a chunky book. I think overall there are 520 pages. So yeah, 520 pages of content. Now some of that is your index, some of that's your table of contents, some of that might just be pictures, granted, but it's a chunky book. Now, as soon as you open the book, you're greeted with this, which this is the star system that they provide for you to play your games. It is the Pact Worlds. It is essentially the worlds from Starfinder ratcheted into the future. So if you have a Pathfinder book and you look, you'll see the planets from there are these planets. The only one missing is Galorian, which that's a whole part of the storyline for the game, and it's replaced with a space station, a giant space station. So, you know, there's that for you. And then you just like look at the artwork. I mean, it's really just great artwork, all around. And I'm not gonna go into like the different sections in this video. I just want to kind of flip through the book, give you like some pictures, let you see some of the stuff that's in here, and just give you kind of a general overview and my feelings on it. So like, here's the races, and I'll show you the two new. I'll show you what they did for the two new ones that they put into this, which they made the Shireen, who are bug people, and then my personal favorite, because I've always been a fan of lizard men, and this is to me is just like is perfect. Is the Vesk, these big militaristic lizard folk that are to me just really cool. I mean, if I get a chance to play in a game of this, that will be the go-to race for me. Just plain and simple. So there's your races. you know, some pictures, just some pictures of the races. And then, like, you move on to classes, and they did provide you with some nice new sci-fi up classes. One of my favorites, which is funny because normally I don't like this type of a class, is the mechanic. Like, I really like this class, and I'm going to do some videos on the classes out of this book, and I'm going to be really excited about this one. Because he's just got some cool abilities, and things feel intuitive. One of the things I will say about this book is things feel intuitive, compared to some of the other sci-fi games I've played, where it's like, I don't really know what you're trying to do there, but thank you, you tried. You know, you flip through, and then there's your operative class, which is kind of your stealthy infiltrator type. The only thing that I don't know how I feel about is they essentially put a Jedi in the book. They called it the Solarian class, and it is basically a Jedi. I mean, it's whatever. It's cool. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but if somebody in my group wants to, more power to them. So, you know, there's your classes. Like I said, the artwork in this book I'm really impressed. One thing I will say, too, I've read through a lot of RPG books and a lot of rule books, and some of the ones from smaller companies you can definitely tell weren't proofread, because you'll come across a weird spelling mistake, or like a spot where things are copy pasted wrong or formatted wrong. And so far, I've almost read this book from cover to cover. I haven't come across anything yet. If you have, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to look for it on the page that you provide. But that's just, you know, a thing that I feel is really nice about this book. Now, you know, moving forward, just, you know, here's some more of the artwork. I'm a sucker for artwork in this book. So one of the really cool things is the gear section. Here's all of their books in the chapters have these pictures, and this is the equipment chapter, and it's space goblins. At first I was like, man, space goblins? But I've already decided I'm going to use them in one of my adventures, so we'll see how that goes. But like I said, one of the coolest things in the equipment section is just look at that. The gun, you know, the double page layout of firearms. It just is a really good looking book. And there's your close combat weapons, which I can see there's a chainsword-y looking device, because apparently we can't have science fiction or science fantasy without a chainsword. It would be against the law. I'm not complaining, I just think it's funny that you find chainswords in almost every universe you come across. Then we have the armor section, which again, just cool looking stuff. A lot of this is just stuff that, you know, once you get the book, if you're interested in this type of a genre, you're gonna like it. I'm pretty sure. I won't promise you that you'll like it, but I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. There's just another one of the spreads for the beginning of the chapter. The only thing that I think would have been cool if they would have done with this book is when you read through the Pathfinder books, you will see these nice spread pictures, but there's also blurbs of text kind of telling a story to go with the picture, and I would have really liked to have seen that here. They didn't do it. It's not a huge deal, but I would have liked to, you know, have seen a little bit of that in the book. I would have liked a little bit more story, I guess. And now, they cover the setting. They give you the races, they give you planets, they give you the background of the core world. All in all, this book has almost everything you need to play. Now, almost. Well, what do you mean almost? Well, what I mean by almost is the thing this book is lacking is any kind of NPC or monster stats. For me, that's not a huge negative because I love just making up stuff as I go for my games. I'm probably a horrible GM to deal with because a lot of times I just make shit up, and if my players are trying to go home and look in the bestiary or find it online, they're like, well, what the hell? This doesn't exist. I can't, Part of it is because when I'm playing, I get lost in the creative process. I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to look through a book, and I don't want to be confined by that book. But the other part of it is it prevents metagaming. Like, my players can't go and, research something and come back and be like, ha ha! I learned on the Pathfinder Wikipedia on the obscure pages that the monster you're using is deathly allergic to Parmesan cheese. So I went out and my character bought Parmesan cheese, and I was like, well, what the hell? So, I avoid that issue too. However, if you are a DM that likes to take monsters or NPCs right out of a book, or to have that as a base template to work on, or say you're new, that could be a problem here. However, like I said, the Alien Archive book is coming out. Yes, it's another book you're going to have to buy. Paizo's a business, so I kind of understand both ways. Also, the argument could be made that if you have Pathfinder, or if you have friends that have Pathfinder, you could simply use their bestiary books to get monsters out of. So you have that. So that's... I don't want to get into details in the book. I'm going to do that in some other videos. So I just kind of want to give you my overall feelings of the book. Overall, I am happy with it. I'm biased probably because I've been excited about this since it was announced. I love science fiction. I love science fiction RPGs. I don't think there's enough of them out there, at least that are a good quality product. And I feel like Paizo has given us something here that's good quality. So if we were to score the book, artwork, presentation, and layout, I would give it an A. I would give it an A for that because everything here, the pictures, the way the things are laid out, the way the rules come to you, is all just very nice. Mechanics, I can't really an A minus, A minus because it's Pathfinder mechanics, just slightly different. I haven't played a game yet, so I don't know what they're like in practice. But overall, I'm confident that they're going to be good because Pathfinder, at least to me, is good. Content, a solid B plus. I give it a solid B plus on the fact of they didn't include any kind of an adversary section. Even just a tiny one that included a couple of monsters off of each of the worlds from the Pact worlds to give those worlds a bit of flavor would have bumped this up to like an A in content. So there's that. That's really the only negative I have. I will say this too. I kind of wish that they would have included a couple of more brand new races rather than just the Shreen and the Vesk, because all the other races that are in the core races here are from Pathfinder, and they've just been Starfindered essentially. So overall, I will give this product, this book, a minus, and I feel that for $60, it is good value. But you can find it on Amazon, on War Store, on Miniatures Market, on any of the online retailers that you go to if you want to get a little cheaper. And I think there's a PDF that you can get of the book that's like $10 or something around those lines. So, there's cheaper ways to get it if you want to go that way. But I'd say it's worth a purchase. I'm looking forward to running this game with my friends. Now, I also wanted to talk a little bit about things that are coming up. Things that are coming up essentially are going to be delving into Starfinder. I want to talk to you guys about the races, the classes, a little bit of the mechanics. I'll talk a little bit about the setting that they provide. I'll do a review on Incident Absalon Station, which is the first adventure path for the system. And, of course, when the Alien Archive book comes out, I will be picking that up. I will do a review on that. And because I'm probably going to buy each of the adventure paths, I will go through them when I buy them for you guys, which is bi-monthly. So there's that. A friend of mine has been talking about maybe doing a podcast, and if we do, we'll probably do kind of a Starfinder-themed, RPG-themed podcast, where we'll talk about ideas, games, mechanics, clunky things, or weird things that we've had happen. And hopefully, if we can figure it out, we are going to be doing recordings of some of our RPG sessions. So that's the big one. That's going to be big. The big content for a while is going to be Starfinder. So if you're here for miniatures games, you might be a little disappointed. I hope not. But there are still miniatures games to be played. Here one of these days I'm going to do an unboxing of this, and then I kind of want to do videos where I just sit down and I put the camera aimed at the table, and I'll just do like a build day where I'll show you how the models go together, kind of what they look like after they're done, and that sort of thing. So, Beyond the Gates of Antares is definitely something that you can keep your eyes out for. The other game is Bolt Action, 2nd edition. We're going to try to hopefully get some battle reports for this at some point. Probably me and Dom from Dragon Strike Studios, or me and another friend of mine. And I want to document and just have videos of my process with the armies. Because right now I have a German army, and I have an American army, but I think I'm going to get rid of the Americans and pick up the Soviet army. And I have them undercoated. They're all undercoated, ready to be painted, and I'm just so stuck on what I'm going to do for painting them that maybe showing you guys the armies, you can give me a little bit of help and advice there. I know Tristan Athelith, I hope that's how you say that. If it's not, I'm sorry. I know I've watched some of your videos for painting like your Bolt Action and your Rubicon models, and they are fantastic. And they've given me a little bit of inspiration, but I don't know if I want to do camo for my Germans. So that's coming. And yes, I know that we've talked about Games Workshop here before, and I was off that wagon, man. I was off that train. I had gotten out of their plastic crack. And then 8th edition 40K came out, and god damn it, GW, you went and did something right. You know, for a long time there, when you put out 7th edition Warhammer, you put out 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy or whatever it was, and it was just so not fun for me. And then 40K, there was so much going on. There was detachments and all this other bullshit that wasn't fun. And then they put out 8th edition Warhammer 40K. They gave you Ravening Horde style army books for a while. They made it fun. Damn it. So yes, I went and got an army for that. Might even do a battle report or two on the channel for some 40K. I guess I'm eating my words from the video I did on GW a while back. But yeah, they made it fun, so I bought an army. On top of that, I may be moving at some point, and I figured, what is the easiest game to own an army for that if I just go to a gaming store, I can find a game of, and by God, that's 40K. Anywhere you go, you can probably find a game of 40K. If I show up with some Bolt Action, might not be able to find a game, but GW I can. So there's that. So that's kind of everything that's in the pipeline. Again, I kind of want to try to do some video game streaming. That won't be on the channel. That'll be on Mixer, because Mixer is what Microsoft owns. But we haven't gotten around to doing that yet. If I do it, I will let you guys know. So if anybody wants to check it out, they can. But that's going to do it here for me at Poolshed Games. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you're excited about Starfinder or you've played Starfinder, let me know. Just leave me a comment. We can talk about it because I'm super excited. This is my super excited phase for some science fantasy RPG goodness, which is going to be Starfinder. Okay, guys, be safe. Keep rolling the dice. We'll see you next time here at Poolshed Games.